Three, two, one.
Hey, everybody, this is Tyson with Realty One Group Pacifica. We're here on the newest episode of the Real Vets podcast. I'm here with my partner in crime, Tony Dayton with Edge Home Financial. How you doing today, Tony?
I'm doing great, Tyson. Good to be here. Happy to be on another episode of Real Vets, baby. Let's go.
Yes. This has been a lot of fun. We've been trying to get this thing going and try to get as much information about the VA home loan out to all of our veteran friends. And what's next year? So like and subscribe, please. Got the buttons right down there. Before you watch the rest of this video, please like, subscribe, comment. Let us know something you'd like to hear about or a question you have. We're trying to get more subscribers. We're on Spotify, YouTube, Pandora, Amazon, Apple, iHeartRadio. MySpace?
Yeah. Oh, is that not a thing anymore?
I don't know. Does Justin Timberlake still own it? I have no idea.
I remember that.
God, I miss MySpace. I miss having my custom background on my soundtrack. Come on, when you come onto my page, you get me. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
that
buddy.
was always fun. Well, anyways, we've decided to break the episode down into segments. And so one of our newest segments is, how you doing?
How you
doing, Tony?
I am fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm actually working currently on my personal refinance of my house.
Refinance of your house? Are you doing
Yes.
like a cash out refinance? Are you taking the money out?
Yep, doing a cash out refinance for some investment opportunities, and gonna do an interest rate reduction loan a little later. And when I say investment, probably paying off some investment opportunities that didn't go so well as well. So,
Hey, you win some,
Yep.
you lose some. But that's great. That's the great thing about equity and owning property, and one of the biggest differences between renting and owning is having that opportunity to do a cash out refinance.
It's wild. They have that ability.
It's basically like owning your own bank in a way.
I put about $45,000 into my house, and
Yeah,
I ended up getting $100K in equity, $120.
that's awesome.
Yeah, so
That's awesome. Cool.
So Tyson, how you doing?
How you doing? I'm doing good. My Chiefs won.
Yes, they did.
Wide right for all you Buffalo fans. Wide right for the second time. I know it stings. I know it hurts. Yeah. Sorry, not sorry. I don't know. You'll be back again. You got a great QB. You'll be back again. Don't worry. I know you guys passed on Mahomes in the draft, but whatever. So.
Didn't he go 32? So every team passed on him.
Yeah. The Chiefs traded with the Bills up to draft Mahomes.
Oh, he was a 10th pick or something, wasn't he?
Yeah, and they got that trade from the Bills, from my understanding at least. So, woo, yeah, good stuff. Just for the record, I'm a Seahawks and a Chiefs fan. I grew up with a mom liking one and a dad liking one, but my very first NFL football game was at the Kingdome in Seattle, but a Chiefs and Seahawks game.
Really?
Yeah.
House divided.
Well, yeah, that was back when they were in the same division too. They were both AFC West.
Yes, they were. Yep. Now,
I'm old.
So you were a house divided.
I'm dating myself.
Right? You were a house divided, but you were the United.
Yeah. Yep. Well, when I was a kid, both teams sucked, so I don't know. Now
They
I
did
get to
too. Well,
enjoy one than the other. Yeah.
I mean, Marcus Allen was around. There's some bright spots for the Chiefs back then.
Derek Thomas was my favorite player growing up.
Yeah, Derek Thomas.
Then he got in that car accident and got that blood clot and passed away.
Who was that running back that was really good for a while? That was about 10 years ago.
Priest Holmes?
No, Priest Holmes was about 15 years ago. I think 20 years ago. It was after him, and he ended up going to the Texans too. I can't remember who it was.
Oh, damn it! I don't got my football head on right now.
No, me neither.
Yeah, because I enjoy an old fashioned every once in a while. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, dude. I am rooting for the Detroit Lions to take this thing because
I
they're
would
the only
love
one.
to see the Lions win.
Yeah,
I would love to see them win. I like every time the 49ers lose. What can I say? But I just don't know about that game. I don't know about the other one either. I
yeah,
I, I hope the Chiefs win, but I don't know. I don't know. But
yeah.
yeah, that's how I'm doing. Doing good. Doing real good. Enjoying it while it's undecided. Yeah. But anyways, next piece of this episode is off the chain innovation.
Off the chain innovations, and I think you wanted me to take this one, right? You
Yeah, I
you
want you to
wanted me
start it at least.
you
I'm more
want
of
me
a
to
closer.
start
You
it.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm a
the
closer.
closer, right?
Yeah.
And
So,
one of the things we were looking it up on the Facebook group, Washington Real Estate Investing, right before we started this. And I was like, dude, there's like this thing on Facebook where they're talking about condoizing ADUs, right? And I'm like, oh man, that's genius. But I also seen on this, like maybe that thread. Actually, I think he commented on that post. But there's also a guy that was fighting with the bank because they were calling his note due because he changed something on title, right? He changed. I can only imagine if you condoize an ADU and then sell it. Well, you just took away from your original note what the value of that property was when they funded it, right? You're out of agreement with
that's
the
kind of a
current.
no-no.
It's I don't know if it's a no. Like it's not like you're doing something wrong, or you're just negating your contract so they can change. They can call the no due, so you owe them a bunch of money, right? I don't know if you're not breaking any laws. I don't think.
Well,
I mean,
I
I don't
mean,
know. I don't.
it makes me think of if you bought like a house with 20 acres and then you try to parcel off 10 of it and sell it to someone else, which changes title and the overall value. But then, I know there's a correct way, and I'm not, and then kind of, I know there's a correct way to go about it.
Oh yeah, the
Seeing what
correct
the
way is
leftover piece is worth before you do it.
yeah. A situation like that, you go to your bank and you be like, hey, my value is looking good. I need a release, basically a lien release of
Mhm.
this parcel of land. That's 6 months later, you're probably going to get your lien release, especially with the values here in Washington increasing. The 40% increase we've seen anyway. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I just thought it was interesting. It's innovative. I'm always up for any innovative ways to create more housing, more affordability, whether it be tiny housing, whether it be you know converting old buildings like downtown, where a lot where businesses seem to be moving out of. Those
Mhm.
buildings are. So I'm just kind of all for that. And I just thought condoizing was really just kind of an off the chain innovation. It's you
Yeah.
build a house, you buy a house, you put it in Pierce County. You can put a 1,300 square foot or 1,100 square foot condo in your backyard anywhere, right?
Yeah.
Just go get it permitted, do it properly, and then create an HOA between the house and the ADU. And I mean, technically, I think you could probably list them and sell them both at the same time. I'd be careful to do that. Check your laws and stuff on it. But
Yeah.
I just thought it was interesting.
Yeah. It's not something I've been involved in yet, but it's interesting to hear the term condoizing. I don't think I'd ever heard that before until you said it right before the video, and I was like, "What the heck does that mean?" So
Yeah.
always learning something new here with Tony. But speaking of innovations, I did a little personal innovation. I'm getting ready to go to Realty One Group Summit in Vegas at the beginning of February. Got invited to the top producers dinner, but I had some challenge coins made. It's about 2
Ooh,
inches tall, nice and thick. The military challenge coin. So it
yeah.
is the Realty One Group logo that I designed. It's got my stuff on the back, Air Force vet, you know, kind of looks a little suspect here. But anyways, a little tongue in cheek. But these are getting handed out. I got 100 of them, and they came early, and they got some weight to them. I'm really excited about this kind of stuff. So, but yeah, getting ready to go to a really fun event that's once a year. I don't really have an innovation for you besides that. I've just been kind of focused on my stuff. And of course, working on the channel here, trying to get more followers and subscribers and stuff like that. Please, once again, like and subscribe. If you're enjoying just listening to us bullshit, please like, subscribe. Tell me I'm stupid in the Bills rule. I don't care. So,
got something
what is the
interesting.
next thing we got going on here? Tidbits. You got a tidbit for us, Tony?
Oh, you want to pause?
Yeah, I can. Okay. What's the tidbit, Tony? You got a tidbit for us?
I think leaning into people go out and they buy their homes, right? And they get everything they want in that first home. And do you know the average person only owns that first home for 3 to 5 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
your
so
first
it's like,
home,
so
not your forever home.
I've been saying this to clients that I've been talking to. I'm like, hey, don't look, especially in this market. Like in this market that we've been in, I'm like, don't look at this home. Like, don't be sold on the home. Be sold on the value that you can get out of the home afterwards, right? And that means, and we talked about it, getting closing costs, getting all these things when the market's going good. Houses are on sale, right? Well, that's when you buy, and this is the opportunity, you know. Um, and I think it's slowly going to be fleeting away as we approach this Fed cut in March. We approach the Fed rate cut in March and all that stuff. I think the demand. I mean, in simple terms, it makes sense. Right? The demand goes up, and the interest rates come down. Basically, and there's another way. Like, like people that make a certain amount of money don't qualify for the median house price, right? And so if the interest rates go down, eventually that median house price is going to qualify, and that's going to be like one of the quarter machines, right? You put the quarter in at the arcade, it pushes the coins off, and you win a bunch of tickets. It's going to be people buying houses.
Yeah, and also, what your plan is can determine when's a good time to buy and when's a good time not to buy. I mean, if you plan on owning a house for 10 years, like if that's the plan, interest rate, you can be a little more forgiving because you'll have the opportunity to refinance most likely. But if you're only planning on owning the house like 2 years, 3 years, that plan might not work as well. But yeah, you're right. Your first home really, I wouldn't recommend looking at it as your forever home because life changes, everything changes. And then, if you're younger, you're eventually going to need a bigger home if you start growing a family. And with the VA loan in particular, your first property, if you're using the VA loan, um, you have to live in it at least a year. And then it can become your first investment property because we can do that 2 VA loan thing we talked about in a previous episode where you can turn around and rent it and then go use it again. And by then, maybe you're in a better situation life-wise where you can get that bigger house that's more closer to your forever home.
And if you're listening right now, I would ask yourself this question: if you own a home, are you in your forever home? And if not, you should give us a call. I think the banner will be flying by the bottom of the right? So
There's so
if you're
many
not in
things
your
you can do.
we got you. We'll get you there too. But
Yeah.
yeah. I think that's a great tidbit section. I just wanted to throw something out there that's kind of helpful. I think maybe next episode or in the next couple episodes, we really dive into credit. I think that'd be a
Did you
great
say credit? Like how credit works for the VA loan? Like the
how
fact that
credit works.
that the VA doesn't require a credit score, technically?
Yeah.
Well,
we could talk about credit. We could talk about how to boost credit, all that stuff. I think that's kind
definitely. Definitely. But that brings us to our next segment here. We are looking at, let's see, military joke of the day. Military joke of the day. I'll go first on this one. Seeing that you're an Army vet, I'm an Air Force guy. I kind of did my research before I joined. But Army vet, what does Army stand for, Tony?
Marines yet is what I keep getting told by all my Marine buddies.
All right. All right. That one, it works. It works. I like a recruiter misled you, but that's just me. Oh
I
gosh.
I mean, how do different military branches use the stars? Well,
Tell
the,
me, Tony.
well, the Army sleeps under the stars, and the Navy navigates by the stars. How do you think the Air Force does it? The Air Force chooses hotels by the stars.
Damn right they do. Damn right they do. I don't even deny that. In fact, we probably got a 4-star hotel on base.
Right?
You should have seen my dorm. You should have seen my dorm room. We don't even call them barracks. It's called a dorm room. It's pretty nice. Had a lazy boy in it, recliner.
Nice.
Yeah, and it was a good time. I was at RAF Lakenheath for a little over 4 years, so over there in the
Where's
United
that?
Kingdom. It was United Kingdom, about 2 hours north of London.
Oh,
Yeah, you got RAF Lakenheath and Mildenhall, which is a heavies base. They're right next to each other. So,
I mean, as a kid growing up, you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to join the military and travel. Right? I wanted to be in the Air Force. I actually didn't. I was going to travel. Right? I got stuck in the desert.
mhm.
And I went to Missouri. I went to Missouri. I went to Kuwait. I went to Iraq. I got to land in Turkey, but never got off the plane. So
Sounds like a great time. Really does.
I know, right? Oh, and one little trip to I did get to have a drink after I turned 21 in Ireland. So,
See,
but
that's
that was a
cool. See,
whole new airport.
5 days after graduation, I was on a plane to basic training, and by January January 2nd of 2009, I landed in the UK. And the military goes by the local drinking law, so I was legal to drink at 19
Nice.
at my duty station. So you could go to the bar on base, the bar off base. Nobody said shit. Nobody
Yeah, I
said
think
anything.
I
I
think
mean,
Ireland was the
it's
same way.
18.
Yeah, it was
I think it's
18
18.
and like
Yeah.
yeah, and so like technically, I mean I could have drank 2 years prior to that. Of course, I wasn't in Ireland. But I don't know.
Like 2 weeks before, we already had orders to go to our bases, and about 2 weeks before, we were because we went to Tyndall Air Force Base in Florida for hot training. A couple guys got busted for underage drinking, and they ended up getting in all this trouble, even though like a week and a half, 2 weeks later, they were going to be in the UK fully legal to drink on base and everything. They got in trouble, and they changed their orders to Mountain Home, Idaho, and they didn't get to go to the UK. And I just
Wow.
felt so bad for them. It's just one of those things that just doesn't make any sense. I feel like if you join the military and you have a military ID, you should be able to walk into a bar and get a drink. But if you get in trouble, military issues you a brand new ID with a little thing on it saying, "Hey, he can't drink till he's 21." I think that'd be real easy to do, and I think that would, you know, guy can hop on a plane and go die. Why can't he go into a bar and have a drink? I don't know.
That's an
It's always rubbed me
innovative
the wrong way.
idea. Yeah, old
Yeah.
enough to die. That's what that how the saying goes. That's how the saying went, right? Old enough to drink at a bar. Old enough to die for my country. Old enough to drink at a bar.
Mm-hmm. Tony, you were talking about you were going to be doing something cool tomorrow.
Yeah, man. So tomorrow we're going to be doing what's called the point in time count. So I'm on the board of directors with 9/11 Veteran Services, and we're connected into like the local county and stuff like that. Basically, they've got the point in time count where they go out and for the next 48 hours they're going to be counting all the homeless, right?
Okay.
And so like tomorrow, half my team will be at the office and the other half will be out going around 5 to the different campings and just stopping and talking to people and getting as much data as they can, you know. And and it's just kind of it's a huge piece of who I am and what I do as far as being in the military world. Like I was an advocate long before I was a mortgage loan originator, and
Mm-hmm.
so it's been my passion, And so being able to go out there, be a part of this point in time count, and then and really looking for veterans. I mean, that's kind of the underlying mission for me, right? Covert. It's not really covert, but uh, let's find some vets.
It's the home front.
Yeah.
Helping our fellow soldiers here on the home front. And yeah, that's awesome. Have you done it before?
This is actually my first year being available to do it, so I'm pretty stoked. Pretty stoked because I usually miss it every year. I go see my family down in Arizona around this time of the year. It just happened this year. Got moved to February, so I was able to make it.
Nice. Yeah. I'm gonna be me and Tony are both Legionnaires. We're both part of the American Legion. In fact, that's how we met, was through the American Legion, a really cool thing. And on the 27th, I'm going to be one of the cooks up at Post 17 in Centralia. Going to be the salmon cook for the night. Been helping with that for probably off and on for like 10 years. Probably serve like up to 60 or 70 people. And you know, I mean, the Legion is not just a bunch of old guys up there smoking and drinking. That's a big perception of it. It's changing quite a bit. There's a big movement of younger people entering it, and I encourage anybody that's interested. If you don't know what the American Legion is, reach out, message us. We'd love to connect with you and tell you how the American Legion helps veterans both in and out, and also what you can do to join a cause like that. So it's it feels really good to be a part of it, and meet a lot of great people. I've been a member since 2008. My uncle dragged me up there when I was home on leave from basic, and so when I was there was lots of World War II vets still left over, so I got to talk to them. There's none of them left anymore, so we got the Korean vets and the Vietnam vets right now. But you know, it's just so much fun to be a part of something like that. So, and you're also a VFW member, aren't you?
Yeah, American Legion and VFW. Yeah.
Yeah. So. See, I'm not eligible to be a VFW member because I wasn't boots on the ground in a conflict. So I was working on the aircraft that were flying over, but
right.
Air Force, yep. I was sitting in my chair, as you would say.
Yeah, I mean, my grandfather actually, my grandfather-in-law, was in the Air Force, and just in the last 5 years with the PACT Act and everything that went through the last 3 years, whatever that was, uh, with the PACT Act finally going through, he actually was able to get um, connected from Vietnam for working on the aircrafts that were going over to Vietnam. So, because they were coming back, vehicles and stuff were coming back with Agent Orange and stuff on them, and he got one of the cancers. And so, so they actually, Air Force, maybe there is something. Maybe you weren't working. Maybe I don't know if they work with any pesticides in that, but
dude, with all the chemicals they use on aircraft, and I mean, I got hydraulic fluid in my mouth because sometimes the line wouldn't be hooked up right, and it would spray and makes your tongue numb and stuff like that. And I mean, like aircraft I work on, the F-15, the bottoms of them are like 3.5, 4 feet off the ground, and so I'm 6 foot, so you have to like crouch down and go underneath on your hands and knees because that's where a lot of the hydraulic components are. It's where where you access all the panels and everything. So you're down there contorting yourself and stuff. I got to do my VA claim. Tell you the truth, I've been putting it off. I gotta. We should do that. We should have somebody on the show that like somebody that helps people with doing their VA health benefits. That'd be a really neat person to have on there. If you're watching this and you're an expert on something like that, reach out. We'd love to get some authorities on the matter here to put your stuff out there to help more and maybe help myself. Maybe I'll get hooked up with a person to help me get my stuff done.
And if you're procrastinating, sitting on the couch like Tyson, one way to get your butt off the couch, chair. If you're procrastinating on it, I get a little worked up. I get a little passionate. If you're procrastinating on it, once you do you know how sometimes you make choices up front that make you do stuff later? Right?
Mm-hmm.
But usually it's like a bad choice. Like you do something, there's a consequence, right? Well, you can actually you could literally call the VA tomorrow on the 1-800 number, 1-800-827-1000, right? Call the number and say, hey, my name is such and such. This is my social security number. I'd like to do an intent to file over the phone because I have an intent to file for a VA disability claim. You could get that done tomorrow and then wait for the episode of the service officer, and then go from there. And you have 12 months to file your disability claim. And the reason why you're doing that intent to file is because that starts your pay date as well. So
Really? So once
yeah,
they finish the claim and everything, that's where they back pay you to.
that's where they back pay you to.
Gotcha. So I
And
hope that number was right because I just put it on the screen. This is how you call the VA to get your claim started, according to Tony. Is this the right number? You had
yeah,
it memorized.
yep,
I was pretty amazed. I typed it in. I'm like, here you go, right here. You
yeah,
heard it
no,
here first,
that's it.
everybody. Call this number. I hope it's the right place and not like some sort of call chat line. Yeah, there we go.
No, that's the right one. No, it's
All
definitely.
right. Cool.
Yeah, it's definitely the right one. And I mean, you get that thing started, and it kind of takes us into one other thing is that VA funding fee, right? So if you get your
Mhm.
disability, that you get your VA funding fee waived, right? Well,
Yeah.
a lot of guys can get like say you filed an intent to file, right? And then they called you and said, "Hey, I want to buy a house," and then you closed on that. You know, they come in, we do the loan, they get to close on the house, right? Well, and then the loan closes, and then they get awarded their disability, right? Once they get awarded, so if they came in, I would have submitted a form to the VA and said, "Hey, they filed disability claim, yada yada yada." We always ask that. Once that disability claim is awarded, they can then get that funding fee direct deposited back into their account. So
From the VA because
from the
the
VA,
funding. That's cool. So as long
yeah,
as you buy the house after your start date of doing your claim,
yes.
it's also a part of the back pay.
Now the VA does talk about they're like, hey, they don't want mortgage loan officers selling it that way because I've literally, I think it was last month I had a call and the guy was active duty when he bought his home. He's like, his loan officer told him that he would get that VA funding fee back, and I was like, no, there's no way. Even if you were filing your disability claim while you were active, your effective date doesn't start until the day you leave the service. And
So
so if
if
you
you're in the service, that's different.
yeah, so if you're in, because they got like the BDD, the benefits delivered at discharge, and
Hmm.
so with the BDD, that they do that within 90 to 180 days of getting out. And so with the BDD, your effective date, even though you get your 100%, 70%, or whatever on your way out the door, your actual effective date isn't until the last date of your ETS.
Gotcha.
So, so
That's
that's
interesting. So there's no way to be exempt of the VA funding fee if you're active duty, and like if you're currently in the service.
I think you could if you had well, so National Guard reserves could be different, right? And you could have a service connected disability while you're in the service.
Hmm.
So I do know that there's some ways. I mean, I get paid, but I know there's some ways that you could possibly have a disability. I don't think active duty. I don't think you could, but National Guard and reserves definitely because
So there's guys that like were active duty, got out, did their VA stuff, and then went into the reserves of the guard, and they were able to.
yeah, they'd be waived.
But that's interesting. That's a whole another little topic I don't know too much about because were you Army Guard?
I was National Guard. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So you know way more about that than me because that's like a whole different animal.
there's
Um,
all kinds of there's all kinds of things, and what's crazy is like one thing can mean one you can do one thing, and then now it's your situation's a little different, right? So
mhm.
Um, but yeah, we'll definitely get into that stuff. I'm gonna save that topics for later. We're running out of time here, so
Yeah.
if you want
Yeah.
to
We try to
recap,
keep them at around 30 minutes and we're at 29. So yeah, we're coming here at the end. Do you have anything else we could talk about or say before we want to hop off here? I'm thinking we just give a little shout out if you're looking to either PCS away from Washington or PCSing to Washington, whether it's JBLM, Naval Base Kitsap, whether you're Coast Guard, hit us up. We want to take care of you.
oh yeah, I see the banners going again.
Yeah. I was wondering how long it would take for you to notice. All right, let's flip it
Oh
back here. There it is, the
yes.
PCS banner. There's our phone
Oh, there
numbers.
it is.
There's Tony. There's me. Anyways,
Yeah.
give us a call. We'll get y'all set up. We'll answer any questions you have. We'll get you taken care of.
And what
And
do you want to hear about? Comment. Give us some topics. I'd love to kind of hear from the people. What do you want? We'll talk about it.
yeah, Yeah, we need more ideas for topics. We want to keep letting this forum evolve and bring up lots of cool stuff. But anyways, that's it for today, and we will catch you guys next time.